Hello all, Tatuan here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to burn loose incense or herbs or resins um, on a charcoal disc and how I do that. There are different ways to do this, different variations of tools that you can use, but this is my setup and I'm going to share it with you guys today. So first of all, before I even start, I want to get into the importance of fire safety, the importance of being careful when using fire or flammable objects. I'm pretty sure that goes without saying. A lot of you guys already know this, but just be careful and mindful of your body parts in relation to the fire, flammable objects in relation to the fire. You don't want to be around things that can easily catch fire when you're doing something like this, and just general fire safety when doing this. So let's talk about the tools that we're going to be using today. So I have a abalone shell, as you can see. I have a kind of a small one. This isn't really big. They come in different sizes. There are ones that are bigger than this one, but I have a small one here today that works just fine. This is going to be used as sort of the bowl in this process. And then there's also spiritual reasons why I choose to use the abalone shell. I make a separate video on that, but today we're just going to concentrate on how to burn herbs and loose herbs and incense, right? So I also have some natural rock salt that I have as a base or insulator, where my charcoal is going to sit on top of that so as not to burn the shell, right? Also, that's not the only thing that you can use. You can use natural ash or sand if you'd like to act as a base or a insulator for your charcoal to sit on top of. But yeah, that's that. And then I have my charcoal disc. Now, as you can see, mine is kind of small. They come bigger than that. But I like this small one. This works for my purposes. You can find these online, or you can try your local corner store and see if they sell them there. I know they do in some places where I live. But yeah, these are charcoal discs. They're flat. They're not charcoal that you would put in like a grill or anything. That's the difference. But these are flat on either side, and they come in disc form, right? So that's that. And then we have some herbs that I'm going to be using. This is just dry rosemary that I dried and kind of crushed a little bit. And yes, rosemary is good for a lot of different things. Clearing negative energy, help with memory, a lot of different stuff. And again, I'll get to that in another video. I'll talk more in depth on that. But yes, here we are. So what we're going to do, let me explain this first. So you do not have to have an abalone shell to do this. You can use a bowl, you can use a cauldron. There are many different things that you can use to burn your charcoal on. You don't have to have a shell. Just make sure that it is fire resistant or heat proof, I guess you would say. Some sort of heat proof bowl. And you want to use at least 2 inches of sand or salt or whatever that your medium that you're going to use to provide some insulation for your burn, okay? And yeah, that's it for that part. So we're going to talk about how we do this, right? So what we're going to do is, also, I keep forgetting parts of things I need to tell you. But it would be ideal for you to use a tongue to be handling this stuff, right? So that you can keep your hands far, far away from anything that you're going to be touching. So what I do, because I don't have any tongs handy with me right now, is before anything starts, before anything gets heated up or set aflame, I just sit my charcoal disc right on top of my salt, right? So I won't have to touch it. And I'm using one of these long lighters, these candle lighters, so that I have enough distance away from the charcoal in my hand and the flame that I won't burn myself, right? Okay, but ideally you want to be using tongs, especially if you're going to ignite your charcoal with maybe matches or a smaller lighter. I would suggest using one of these though for this. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to place our charcoal tablet right on top of the salt. Okay, and then we're going to light the edge of our charcoal tab. Just the edge. You don't have to, put the fire all over, just the edge. And it'll ignite. And you'll see sparks. And the sparks will sort of go all throughout the charcoal tab. And you want to have a window open, of course, because you don't want to be doing this in an enclosed area and smoke yourself out, right? So that happens. And after that, you want to let it heat up for a little while. And you'll see... you'll be able to see like red. It's very faint, probably doesn't show up on the camera that much, but you can see like underneath it's heated up to the point where it's turning red, and you'll see it turn like an ash color as well. So that's when you know it's ready, when you start to see that ash color. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to place our herbs on top of our charcoal disc, right? I'm not going to put a whole heaping amount, just enough to cover the top, right? And you'll see it start to burn. You can place a little bit more if you feel like you got enough space, but just a pinch. You don't need too much, especially with a charcoal disc that is this small, right? Okay, so you can leave that burning, right? I don't like to pick up my shell to like move around with it, unless if I had a bigger one I would, but this one is kind of small and I don't want to run the risk of burning myself. But you can allow this to burn for a while, right? And it'll smolder. Don't place too much on there because you don't want it to, smother the charcoal, and then you'll have to start all the way over. So just enough, just a pinch. Okay, and when the smoke begins to thin out, you can add a little bit more. You can add a little bit more, right? And this is going to remain hot. Even if you guys think that it's out and it's not, burning anymore, when you're done, you want to be careful to let it cool off for a good while, right? It'll stay hot for about 45 minutes to an hour. Don't touch it in between that time. Don't put your hands near it or anything like that. I made the mistake one time of thinking that it was cooled enough for me to throw away. And I put it in the trash bin, and it set fire to something slightly. Nothing got, super burned or anything, but that could have been potentially really bad. So you want to be careful when doing that, right? Also, charcoal tabs. Mine come in a silver foil packet like this. You want to keep these in a cool place, in a kind of like a tight container, so that they won't become stale, because over time they'll become stale and they won't burn as long. So you want to be careful with that. I think that's everything. So you can burn things like sage, other types of herbs with your charcoal, resins, incense, etc. All types of things. Okay, so I hope this was helpful to you guys. I hope I adequately explained everything and it was clear. I will be coming back with other videos on the specificities of everything, like the specifics on the shell, the specifics on the herbs that you can use and why you would, do this sort of thing. The benefits of it, the benefits of rosemary and other herbs and things like that. So, with that being said, I hope you all have a beautiful day.